Video marketing is the name of the game right now. Everyone keeps saying you should be on YouTube, IGTV, Instagram Reels, TikTok. But how do you jump on it if you feel completely intimidated by the technical stuff like editing? Well, in this video, I'll show you a fantastic app that's going to make creating videos super easy for you. And when I say you need virtually no editing skills, I mean it. But that's not all. I'm going to share a pro tactic with you that's going to maximize the potential of all your videos and make sure you don't burn out when producing content. Ready to create some videos? Let's do this. Hi friends, it's Natalia and welcome back to my channel where I share super actionable ideas on content creation for entrepreneurs and creatives. And today we're talking about video marketing and specifically how to be smart, create videos quickly, and then squeeze as much from them as possible using a great tool that I've discovered and partner up with. Now, every time I have a chat with one of you guys and you ask me how I started my YouTube channel, how I'm recording my videos, how much time it's taking me, I inevitably hear, I'd love to have my own channel, but it's so hard to do. And I'm not here to tell you it's not. There's definitely a lot to learn, but there are some main objections that people have, which I believe can actually be eliminated fairly easily with some smart tactics. And if you think about it, we no longer need fancy equipment to start off with because most of us carry a small camera in our pocket and we can use natural light for some of our videos, which I've done in the past. But one of the biggest barriers I hear about is actually editing videos. And for that reason, I'm bringing you yet another great tool to expand your arsenal and make your life so much easier when creating video content of any kind. And this one is truly a game changer because it's going to make editing super intuitive and there's no need to learn complicated software. This tool is called Descript and I've completely fallen in love with it because it helps you do all the things a successful and smart video content creator should do. And I've been testing it out for quite some time now, using it to create my own videos, and I'm so happy to say I've recently become a Descript ambassador. If you'd like to try the pro version for free after watching this video, then check out the link in the description box. It is an affiliate link which gives you a free trial and helps support my channel as well so that I can bring you more useful content. But of course, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't talk about marketing. This is what my channel is all about, and video content is such an effective tool in your overall marketing strategy. So I thought, hey, let me show you how you can make the most of the videos you create. So if you've ever recorded a video and tried editing it, you'll know that it's a process and it takes time. But then you publish your video on a platform and that's pretty much it. So it may seem like a lot of work for a single use video. That's where repurposing content comes in, and boy, is it an important one. I've briefly talked about repurposing content in this video, but today I'll show you how to take one piece of video content and transform it quickly so that you can use it on other platforms. I want to make sure that this one is very practical, but if you'd like to learn more about the premises of repurposing content, just let me know in the comments below and I'll record another video on the subject. So first, I'm going to show you quickly how to use Descript to edit your video, and then you'll see how you can create a snippet of that same video to repurpose on other platforms. Ready? Let's get going. First, let's go to Descript, and this is what the app looks like when you first get into it. You've got the left panel in here with various different things like your workspace, your created projects, your downloaded projects, all that stuff. I have a few on this account already started, but we want to start with a completely new project. So obviously quite a visible button in here in the top right corner is the new button. Hit it, and then you can select project. We're going to go with a test project and hit create project in here. And as you can see, this opens up an editor. Next, we upload our unedited video. And I have a short one here just for the purpose of this mini presentation. I'm going to just open it now. So you can either drag it or you can choose a file from here. Let me just select the correct file, and it's adding the file. So as you can see, when I'm uploading my video, Descript is automatically transcribing it for me. So this is what takes a few minutes. But as you can see in here, I can just enter a speaker name. So I can say Natalia Glinska, let's say, for this one. And I'll hit done. So once you have it uploaded, this is what it looks like. So you have your display in here, your playback display. Then this is where your transcription is, and this is where your timeline is, which you can find in any editing software. There are various tools in here at the top. You've got playback tools. You have different kind of tools relating to your timeline. But first, let's skim through the script to identify any mistakes, and it's actually quite crazy how freakishly accurate this thing is. And I've obviously used and relied some other tools to create subtitles or transcripts of my videos, and this one is far better than anything I've used so far. But of course, as with any AI technology at this stage, there will be some words here and there that I won't understand, especially when it comes to proper nouns, but it's super easy to just go over them and quickly edit them in Descript, so let me show you how to do it. Okay, so right from the get-go, you can see there is something not quite right with this script, so let me just play that clip for you.
Hi lovely friends, it's Natalia and welcome back to my channel.
So first of all, I'm not saying hi my Olivia friends, I'm saying hi my lovely friends. I know I have a tendency to speak very fast, so if I just want to change that word, I need to hold E and then click on the word. It will select it for me and I can just type in lovely, hit correct or enter, and that is fixed for me. It's as easy as that. It's very quick to edit, just like any kind of Word document that you would edit. And then further on, I have it's Natalia and welcome back to my channel, which is a part of the same sentence. So I can also quickly toggle between punctuation. So if I hold W and click on the word in here, it will toggle between a comma, an empty space, or a dot. So I want to maybe make it a comma just to be thorough. So if you skim through it like that, it will allow you to do these things very easily. So in here, I can see and today I'm coming to you. I can say and today, comma, I'm coming to you. So I can just toggle by holding W and clicking through it very quickly. So that allows me to be very neat with my process and allows me to create a transcript that I can then further repurpose for other platforms or use it for different purposes, which I will explain later on in the video, so make sure to stay to the very end. And if you want to quickly capitalize a word, you can just hold Q and then click on it and it will capitalize the word for you very easily. Brilliant, so I've quickly browsed through the script, I fixed those small mistakes, and that's me sorted. So now on to the actual editing of the video. I'm going to play a bit in here that you'll see I will want to remove. Let me show you that.
And today I'm coming to you with a subject I feel is not really talked about enough, and that's a content creation process. And believe it or not, in order to stay consistent, you need 3 things.
There's a huge gap in here. Perfect. So normally in any other editing software, I would have to edit that out from the timeline, but with Descript, you can simply select what you don't want. So this bit in here, and I can hit delete, and that deletes it for me and creates a jump cut. So let me show you what it looks like now.
Process. You see, I believe that.
See? Seamless, completely transformed. And this is another huge difference, that instead of having to cut and edit your video from the position of that timeline, and Descript is as simple as selecting a part of your script you don't want and deleting it. So when you do that, Descript automatically creates a jump cut for you, gets rid of the unwanted part of the clip without the hassle of having to locate the specific time on the timeline and cutting it from there. It's such a game changer. Honestly, it really makes a whole editing experience effortless and actually quite fun as well. And of course, I want to make that transcript neat, so I'm going to hold W again, hit on the process in here, and that created a new sentence for me. I just deleted that next paragraph, so it's seamless. It looks quite good. But now you see that and ums and things like that are already underlined in Descript. And there's a very neat feature in here that allows you to remove those filler words. So if you go to edit here at the top, hit remove filler words, you can see that Descript identified those ums and ahs that you may want to delete. So if you click on here, you'll see what that filters through. So you can see, but you know, I guess, I mean, for that particular one, I want to leave UC because I think for this one, it kind of creates a good and seamless edit. So I'm going to leave that out, but if I just click delete in here at the bottom, you see all the ums that are selected. You can hit apply to all, and you can see that in here, some bits were removed. So there's an that was removed.
It's honestly like,
and I've got a jump cut created for me automatically. So that's quite amazing. I maybe want to get rid of that and as well, just to make it seamless. Again, it just made it a whole new sentence.
It's honestly like
a jump cut in there for you. No hustle with working from the timeline here at the bottom. You can just quickly skim through the whole transcript and remove the parts that you don't want. As you can see in here, there is a repetition, so it's honestly like a tripod. I made a bit of a mistake in there, so I can just select it here, delete, that's it. I can just make a new sentence.
Content. It's honestly like a tripod.
seamless transition. This is how easy it is. Honestly, I cannot tell you how much time I've spent in editing software before. When I was a completely new video content creator, I was just starting to figure out the editing programs, and it was quite tough for me at the beginning. I'm not going to lie, it took me a lot of time to kind of have that seamless process. But with Descript, it's seamless from the get-go pretty much, and it's so intuitive. You can just get through it and edit these videos that quickly. And of course, this is just a brief tour to show you how to operate quickly. But if you want me to record a full tutorial, let me know in the comments down below. Descript has honestly tons of great time-saving features, so I'm happy to show them to you next time. I'm going to finish off editing this video now, and I'll see you in a second. Now that we have our edited video, we can export it by hitting publish here in the top right corner. We can click export, and we have different options like exporting text, exporting subtitles, audio, video, or the whole timeline. And this, my friends, is where the magic of repurposing can begin for you. So before I explain how you can use Descript to repurpose your piece of content, let me tell you a bit about the whole idea of it. So in order to be efficient and cross-promote your content, you should start thinking about what you create in terms of how you can squeeze as much from it as possible at any given time. And this means that if you create one bigger piece of content, like a video in our case, you want to chop it up into smaller pieces or even completely different formats for it to fit other platforms and purposes, hence repurposing. And there are so many different ways you can do it, so let me give you a few ideas on how you can do it straight from Descript. The easiest way is to export your video as text just in here, tweak it a bit and add more to it, or redact some of it and you publish it as a blog post. You can simply grab your text in here like this, and you can just select different options. Another great way to repurpose your video is to export it as an audio to share it as a podcast episode or an audio clip to support your blog post, which may be especially important for people who are visually impaired or may need to listen to it rather than read it. And then you may want to promote it a bit more by posting a short bit of it in a fun format like an audiogram and maybe share it to your Instagram stories or your Twitter. And there are tons of different ways to repurpose content, but my favorite way to do it with video is to take a snippet of it and create a small teaser to use on other platforms. Now, the most popular video repurposing platforms are IG Reels, so you can upload up to 1 minute now, IGTV with 15 minutes, TikTok up to 3 minutes, and then you have Pinterest or even LinkedIn. And I'm going to create a short snippet for IGTV so you can drive more traffic to your main video and still stay on brand and native to the platform. Now, I know I said you can upload videos that are up to 15 minutes long to IGTV, but you'll find that people don't tend to watch longer form content in there. This, of course, may change in the future since Instagram has just recently announced they're no longer a photo sharing app, which means the focus on video will be even more pronounced. But until we see real changes, I think it's still best to create shorter content there unless you're saving an Instagram live, etc. What I want to do is to extract a shorter clip that covers one tip or one point I make in the whole video. And this way I'm giving some useful knowledge and essentially leave people wanting more so that they feel encouraged to go and watch the whole thing. Is it going to work for every single person watching this snippet on IGTV? Absolutely not. Is it still worth sharing to reinforce the idea that you're creating valuable content and to potentially direct a portion of your Instagram traffic to your YouTube channel? Absolutely yes. Okay, so let's work it out from another project. So I'm going to go back to the drive in here. And I've got the content marketing strategy project in here, so you can open it up. In here in the tab, you can click on it if it's not visible in here. So you can click project in here and you'll be able to view kind of different parts of the same project. So what I want to do is to duplicate what I already have. This is obviously my full kind of content video, so I don't want to mess up with anything that I have already edited in there. So I'm just going to click in here and hit duplicate, and you can see that it's created that duplicate in here. So I can say IGTV snippet in here. Perfect, and what we want to start off with is a standard vertical video format, which is 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels, which is the format that is used for IG Stories, which is used for IGTV, and since we're creating for that platform, we want to make sure that it's created kind of properly and it's native to the platform. So you can click on the inspector in here, so you can see it's show inspector. You can use Control-Alt-I if you're on Windows, or Command-Alt-I, and that will open up that inspector from here. And you can see the composition in here and edit the resolution. So if I hit in here, I can choose the orientation. So at the moment it is landscape, but I can click portrait and it automatically created the resolution that I want, because the original is 1920 by 1080. So I want to revert that, and it's going to be 1080 by 1920. So as you can see in here, if I just drag that line, it's going to kind of make the display smaller, and you can see that it's exactly what I want. So it's that vertical format. And now obviously we want to identify which part we want to retain, so which point we want to leave for the IGTV snippet. And obviously depending on the nature of your videos, this will be very different. So I'm just going to kind of browse through the script and see which step I want to use for the snippet. And I've created kind of previous different versions of this, so I think I'm going to go for step 6, establish types of content. I want to simply remove all the other bits that I don't want, so I just want to retain step 6. Obviously, since we copied that part in here, I know that I'm retaining all the data. I'm not deleting anything from the original. So I can just select everything above here, just like I would in a Word document. I can hit delete, and that just removes it from me. I don't need to go to the timeline, check if everything's all right. No, it is all right. Descript has done that part for me. I can do the same thing for step 7 all the way to the very end. Let's remove that bit as well. You can see that it kind of removes that bit from the timeline as well. And I have my little part identified, so I have my little snippet. This is just an edited video with the changed composition. How do I actually make it attractive, and how do I make it stand out on IGTV? So we want to make sure that we make it as native to the platform as possible and as attractive to view. So there are a few bits and bobs that we need to do first. So let me go to the very start and add a backdrop. And I actually have a backdrop that I've prepared in Canva. So this is my little design that is, again, with the same format as the video. So I can just drag it to the script in here. And as you can see, it creates a new backdrop. So what I can do in here is right click and then say move to bottom below script, which means that I have a neatly kind of organized backdrop just now. But of course, you don't need to kind of have that Canva backdrop. So what you can do instead is to go to plus again here at the top where you add all the different elements. You can hit rectangle, and that will add a rectangle to your screen. So I can change the fill color to whatever I want. Let's say I would want a navy one. And in here, you can select the opacity. So I don't want it transparent. I want it to fill the space completely. And in here, you've got that rectangle on the timeline. And I can just say move layer down below script, and you can see that you've got that kind of plain background in here. Obviously, it's completely up to you whether you want that designed feel or whether you want that rectangle. You can always add a different colored rectangle to the top and then a different one to the bottom just to create that differentiation between the two. But I'm going to go with my Canva background in here. Okay, so we have a proper format, we have our backdrop. What else do we need to do to this video to make sure we make it as attractive as possible? And there is one thing, one element that I always tell people to include for video content, and that is captions. Captions are super important because they make sure that your content is accessible to everyone, meaning that if there are people hard of hearing who are watching your video, they can read whatever you're saying in this video. And there are so many people now that watch videos without sound, so the captions need to be included for them as well. And this is where Descript excels as well. You have an option to actually add captions from here. So again, we go to the plus in here, scroll down, and you can see fancy captions. If we click on that, let me drag them to the very top so you can see the icon in here as text, and you can see that it pops up with this little box in here. Let me just go to the part where I can actually see the video. I can move those captions in here, and you can change the fill color just to make them kind of dark. I'm using navy just in here. And this is the magic of Descript. Not only is it actually transcribing your whole video for you and very accurately at that, it also creates those captions for you. And trust me, when you're using editing programs, you don't always have that option. You don't have that option to create those automatic captions. You can change the fill color, you can change the background color, you can change the stroke color, you can change the font size in here just to be able to make it as visible as possible and kind of make it fit whatever platform you're creating your video for. You can change the fonts. There is a limited number of fonts that you can use, but I would say these are the kind of most popular ones and they're very good for that use. I'm very lucky because I use Roboto Condensed for my branded content, so I'm just going to opt for that font. And again, you can kind of stretch it. You can make the box bigger or smaller, just like that, so it fits more text. I'm just going to stick to that because it's going to make it easier for you to read. And it's similar to like Canva and things of that nature, that you can just drag it to the center and it will center it properly for you. So let me show you what it looks like when I've added these captions.
We can begin thinking about content. With everything we've just researched,
Perfect. Now we just need to make sure that on the timeline, this is displaying correctly. So you can see that it kind of finishes in here on the timeline. So you can simply just grab the edge of it and just stretch it out like that. Same for the background. Let me just zoom out so I can see the whole thing. If you kind of move further in here, you'll be able to see the whole script. So I'm just going to stretch it out. You can see that it kind of snaps in place. You maybe not kind of see it exactly, but there's a little line in there. You can do the same thing for the fancy captions, and that makes sure that it goes to the very, very end. So let me play it again.
identity. If you're planning on posting quotes, keep the format consistent. What colors, elements, add.
Fantastic. So you've got your fancy captions. So I'm happy with what it looks like, but there's another thing that I would add to it just to make sure that we are reinforcing the fact that this is an actual snippet of a video that they can go and watch, in my case on YouTube. So let me add a button. Okay, so let's go to the very beginning again, just in here, hit that plus above and add a rectangle. But let's make it a little bit smaller. Let me just drag that one from here, just like that. Again, center it. And I may want to add it kind of below that square so it's maybe not visible in the feed, but if someone goes to the actual IGTV platform and watches it from there, they'll be able to see that button from there. Brilliant. So let's go to the fill color in here, and I want to make that button opaque. Let's do it in here. I can choose a yellow color. I actually have the hex code for my personal kind of yellow that I use. And as you can see in the background, we've got the stroke color. I don't need that. I don't want a shadow either. So I just want a plain block in here. Let me make it maybe a tiny bit more narrow. Okay, so we've got our button created in here. We can just select the end of it again and just drag it along. Let's zoom out completely. Oh, that's way too long. Let's snap it in place just like that, and that makes sure that it displays throughout the video. And the next thing we want to do, of course, is to add a bit of text. So let's go to the plus here above to the elements, and you can choose title. So I've got my text in here. Let me just select that title from here. I'm going to just paste it. You may not be able to see it. It says watch the full video at youtube.com, Natalia Kalinska. I've got my Roboto Condensed chosen from here. I can make it bold. I can make it regular. Maybe let's make it, let's make it bold. It will be much nicer that way. And let's make it very, very small so that it kind of displays all across that button. I may need to actually amend that button to be a bit wider than that. Let me put it here at the bottom, and I can place the text over it so that it displays properly throughout. And let's play around with the text size in here, the font size. I can drag the text just to kind of fit that button in here. And let's maybe go for 35, maybe a bit bigger, 40. Yeah, I'm happy with 40. Let's say this is what it looks like. And again, going back to the track in here, dragging it all along. Let's zoom out again, way too far in here, just like this. So we've got the video that looks somewhat like that. Let me play it for you.
Covered, we can begin thinking about content.
Another thing that I could potentially add is another title to make sure that people know what they're watching. Let's add another title in here, and let's say what the video is actually all about. As you can see, it drags another one because it copies the previous kind of settings, the position. So I'm going to say create a winning content strategy. let's make it a bit bigger, just like that. Again, I'm aiming to kind of fit it within that little square that we can see. Of course, let's drag it along just like that in here.
A huge piece of content and produce smaller bits from it, and then turn to.
And of course, I understand that not everyone will find their own kind of branded fonts in here. So a way to work around it is to actually create your elements in Canva. So you can go to Canva, create your title in there, create the little button in there with the kind of different colors or different fonts. You can save them as a PNG with a transparent background and load them or drag them to the timeline in here. And that will create another track. You can kind of move that track around, assemble the elements the way you want it so that it creates a cohesive image that you can use across different platforms. So I've created an IGTV snippet, which is a vertical video. You can go to the project and here again, copy that project that you've created yourself. So that whole edited video, make a different resolution. So you can stick to the landscape one maybe and create a snippet for Twitter, let's say. So you can use the same project from within Descript to create multiple videos, shorter snippets, to be able to repurpose your one piece of video to other platforms. And actually, I've changed the title to my Lee Spartan font. So I've done that in Canva and I transferred the PNG file onto my timeline. So this is exactly what I've done in here. Again, it's not necessary. You can just create the titles from within Descript, but I thought let's make the differentiation in here between what it looks like in the captions versus what the title looks like. So I am happy with what it ended up as. So I can now go to publish. And I can just export it as a video. You have all the different options in here, but I want to export it as a video from here. So you can see that I'm exporting the current composition. No other compositions are being exported at that time. I have MP4 and I can choose the video quality as high in here. You can of course compress it if you need to make a smaller file, and let's hit export. I'm going to save it as IGTV snippet, and that's downloading original files for export and exporting videos. Of course, that's going to take us a little bit. So while it's exporting, like I said at the very beginning, video is getting more and more important, and people who have skills in video editing and video repurposing on social media will have a huge advantage in building their online presence. And trust me, doing it, repurposing your content on a consistent basis will definitely help you expand your reach and get more traffic through these various channels. And of course, it can be used by so many creators, whether you're a podcaster, a business who wants to utilize video in their marketing strategy, you own a social media agency maybe and need to be able to quickly edit and repurpose videos. Descript is a fantastic tool that simplifies that process. But not only is Descript a huge time and money saver, but it also has the potential to become a tool for you that lets you make money. And creators out there pay others to physically transcribe their videos or hire professional editors to repurpose content for them. And now with Descript, you can easily offer this service to others, perfect your craft, become quick and proficient with the tool, which in my opinion is much quicker than with other apps, and say transcribe videos for people, making small adjustments where the Descript AI is not quite as precise, or chop up big video pieces into smaller bits ready for the creators to upload to their platforms. And for those of you trying to figure out some ways to make money online, this can be a great side hustle. And of course, if you want to see the finished video, you can go to Instagram. I've already posted it there, so you can check it out and leave a comment in there if you enjoyed this video. Guys, honestly, how amazing is that? I absolutely love Descript and I highly recommend you try it yourself. You can check it out using my link down in the description box below. It is my affiliate link, which gives you a free Descript Pro trial for 7 days and helps support the channel as well. It's such a powerful tool to make video and podcast production accessible to all content creators, so let me know how you get on with it in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. I have more great tutorials coming your way, so please consider subscribing and I'll see you next time.